And we are recording.
What up, Bull?
What's up, bull?
Pilot episode, dude. You excited?
Yeah, man, I'm stoked, dude. It's been in the works for a minute, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, man.
Man, I've been more
We
excited, just to give a big audience something to just, throw in their headphones or whatever
hmm
to just
Yeah,
listen
me
to.
too, man. A wider variety of things to talk about, and uh, you know, same mission is helping people, and it's all good.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be super fun to chop it up, especially we get into more
Yeah, especially when we start getting some
more other
guests too.
people that we can kind of get on here.
Yeah, man, that'll be cool
Yeah,
once
man.
we start getting a little diversity in here of different stuff.
Yeah, but for right now, it's just gonna be us, chopping it up about different shit, man. Anything from the brain, which we're gonna be diving into that today. We're gonna do a quick run through and chop it up about the brain and the body and how it's all connected and routines you should go through. But anything from that to, sports, because me and James are real
I
big into
mean,
sports.
sports, news, whatever. It's going to be about a little bit of everything. This podcast doesn't really have a set thing that we're talking about. It's
It's just
just,
a lifestyle.
yeah, I mean, when it comes to guests, it may be somebody who, we may interview somebody who has a disorder and whatever wants to talk about it, or we may interview somebody who's a professional athlete or, someone
Yeah.
who's has a career in something different than we've ever been in, whatever.
Maybe somebody
Um,
that's been in the Marine Corps and we can get their background of, how it was, serving the
and
country and all that stuff.
yeah, man, it's gonna be a little bit of everything. But all right, dude, you about ready to get into it?
Well, I'm ready to chop it up, man. I got
Yeah.
the let's see here. Today we're gonna be going over the mind, and
Yep, and specifically how a healthy body and a healthy lifestyle leads to a healthy mind.
exactly. And
Yep. And just
one of the most important keys, and just a breakdown of what we're gonna be talking about is like the importance of like de-stressing and like having a routine. A lot of people go through their most of their day not even having a routine. So we're gonna be
yeah,
talking
man, a
about
lot of
that.
people are they live very erratically, or their routine's just stagnant, or it's you know a bad routine is worse than no routine. So it's
Yeah, man.
definitely important, about all that stuff. But I know when it comes to de-stressing, man, as far as that goes, humans are the only animal that doesn't place a that doesn't spend a big amount of time uh in relaxation. I mean, like you look at all other animals, the happiest animals, all animals in general, they spend a lot of time chilling, man. Cats take a
Yeah.
lot of naps, dogs take a lot of naps, lions, tigers, all of them, man, otters, all those
Yeah.
animals spend a whole lot of time relaxing and everything. And of course, if we did that all the time, we'd never get anything done. But that's not the point here. It's the point that every other animal places a big amount of their life in relaxation. And us as humans, I mean, dude, we're go 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 all the time, and all you've heard your whole life is, oh, if you're laying around being lazy, then you're a piece of shit, or
Yeah.
something like that. Which is in reality, man, that's crap, dude. You have to take time to relax.
And you look at
If
those
you want
people
your
that are
body and your
always like,
mind, oh yeah,
yeah, you look at the people that are like, man, get the fuck up. You're wasting your day. Or, man, like all the time I would hear people saying that as growing up. And you look at those people and they're always angry or they're always on edge or
they
whatever. But
got too much.
whenever you get really in tune and you really focus and pinpoint out what's stressing you out and how you can relax about it. And,
Yeah, and I'm
it ain't,
not
it does,
saying, and I'm talking about healthy relaxation. I'm not talking about vegging out in front of the TV for 6 hours. I'm talking
right.
about placing a priority on relaxation and doing it in a healthy way. And that's the thing, man. People have to view relaxation as as being productive, because in reality, if you're
Yeah,
using real relaxation techniques and real de-stressing techniques and you're focused in on it, whether it's meditation or progressive muscle relaxation, whatever it is, if you're doing it right, man, that's being productive because you're boosting how your brain's going to work later. You're
exactly.
boosting how your body's going to work later. As where if you're sitting on the couch eating potato chips, of course you're not making any progress. But in reality,
No.
you have to view relaxation as productivity.
And I'm talking about like key, like really relaxing, man. Like, a lot of people think you got to get in this meditation state where you sit Indian style and do this yoga stuff, and you don't have to do that to be in a relaxed state. And something like I do is it's gonna differ from each person, but like you can just put on some good like music that puts you in a good mood, and get on a mat and stretch out, or jump in the hot tub,
Man, one
whatever
of
the
my
case.
favorite things to do is literally just sit on my front porch and do some of the deep breathing, like the diaphragmatic breathing.
Yeah,
And man, literally just sit there, listen to the birds, watch the clouds go by,
yeah,
and really
man.
try to focus in on, kind of like that mindfulness.
It trips me out how and it's 2019, and people really, especially people our age, man, that they think that's a joke, or they think that's uh
They think
you,
that that's stupid or that
yeah.
it really doesn't have any effect. And another crazy thing, man, that blows my mind is how schools don't teach people any
Right.
sort of way to de-stress or relax. It's all go, 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 go. But
Yeah.
you wonder why you're creating a class of people and a class of, young adults and everybody who are, statistically more stressed out, more depressed, more suicidal than
Yeah.
any generation ever in history before. I mean, for one, I mean, it's all the technology and stuff's crazy. We'll get into that later and the social media and all that aspect, but it's they should be teaching, young adults before they go out of high school in their life skills class or whatever, should have to take a class and, ways to calm down, ways to
Yeah.
de-stress, ways to cope with loss or with losing a job or with losing a loved one or, just daily stress in their
And that's
lives.
shit you never hear
And
about in the school system.
oh, I know. And because dude, it's all go, go, go. It's not based on, what's going to be the best for the individual. It's what's going to be best for the economy. I mean, the school
Right.
system, there's a reason that, in public schools and school systems in general, you're filed in your rows and desks, your desks are in rows and all that kind of stuff, because the whole school system hasn't changed since the Industrial Revolution. They want to create a class of workers that will generate economy.
Yeah.
And, but that when it comes to mental health, de-stressing and all that stuff, man, that's not good. It's a different
No.
age now. And people need, relaxation. They need to learn how to cope. I guarantee you, if more people knew how to cope, there would be way less suicides. There would be none of these,
Oh, no doubt.
mass shootings and all this kind of stuff. And, if somebody just simply took the time to teach some of these kids how to relax, how to
It's okay to
de-stress.
chill out, dude. Like,
Yeah,
just let
how to
them know.
connect. Let them know that, man, it's all right to chill out. You don't have to be go, 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 go all the time. Have some
Yeah.
fun, chill out, stretch, relax, breathe.
Yeah. And that's yeah, relaxation, stress, and that's super fucking key in anything, man. Like I don't care if you're not going through nothing, like that's how shit gets built up. People are, you may have a subconscious stressful state of mind, and you may not think much about it until you hit a breaking point, and you don't want to fucking hit that breaking point.
No,
But if you
because it's real.
learn,
It's
yeah,
real
that
and
shit,
things
yeah,
can get
it's
crazy.
yeah, and if you learn to squash that stress and get rid of that shit, and it's just a lifestyle, man. And we'll talk more about adapting the brain to new routines and new stuff. We can actually jump into talking about routines now.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've actually incorporated a lot more. Is
But one
one
more
thing I've
thing,
noticed.
go ahead. But back when we were just on for just a second before we jump into that.
Oh, you're good. You're
And
good.
another thing that's so good, by teaching these kids to relax and stuff, man, it's also good to, just let them have their emotions, man. Everybody
Yeah.
keeps things so bottled up and they think
Oh,
you're not
dude.
allowed to be emotional, especially men. You know, we're the most notorious for not showing emotion, not letting things out, letting things build to an explosive point inside of us. And you know, it's crazy, dude, that you know everybody views crying as a weakness and all this kind of stuff like that. But if you go back in history, Spartans, the hardest warriors in the history of the world, after every battle, even King Leonidas himself of the 300 from
Yeah.
Thermopylae, they cried after battle. They didn't
Right.
view it as weakness. They viewed it as a purging of fear. And you can
Yeah.
look that up. There's actually a really good book that I'm reading that talks about that. But it's viewed as a purging of fear. It's not viewed as weakness. And that's the thing about today's society, man. Any kind of emotional reaction is viewed as weakness. And that causes it to build because everyone just holds it inside. And that's
Yeah.
not healthy, man. You gotta let it out and find a healthy way to let it out.
And see,
But
the biggest thing I struggled with was being scared to show my emotions.
yeah, oh, me too. Me too.
And so something I've incorporated here recently, me and James have talked about, but so when you're trying to get these emotions out and are just feel an emotion period, man, sometimes some people just don't feel shit and it amazes me. But like at the end of every day, what I've been thinking about is gratitude. And so not necessarily like I'm talking about real fucking gratitude. Like
Yeah,
you
literally
you
stopping and thinking about, man, this was a good day. Or man, I'm
yeah,
so thankful that I got these people and those people. Just even the little things like, man, I'm so happy I just have a house to come home to.
I'm talking about that feeling when somebody hands you, if somebody was to hand you $1 million check and say, "Hey, I just want you to have this," that gratitude you have for that person, like, holy God, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like, adapting that gratitude at the end of every day and just having that positive outlook on, like, man, dude, I'm
I'm
just
just
grateful
thankful for another day.
I'm just thankful to be able to smash that day. And, that's a really big one. But, yeah, man, it's super beneficial once you start incorporating emotions, like actually feel them.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man, is not feeling any of them at all is horrible because
Yeah,
you know you don't realize how much you miss your emotions until you stop
go
showing them
straight
for so
from it.
long. You almost forget how to use them, and
Yeah,
you miss, you know, just the fire of anger or sadness, man. Even sadness is a good thing, like just all that stuff. But and you know that's a way to that's healthy for the mind to get that out, whether it's you know positive emotion, negative emotion, whatever it is. It's good. Emotions are there to get out.
yeah, and then
You know, they're
sometimes, but
there.
look,
They
there's
exist
been
for a reason. We're supposed to have them. It makes you a human.
yeah, and so sometimes, bro, like this is gonna sound crazy, but I really want to get this across, the platform. Sometimes, whenever you've been bottling these emotions in, this is something I did a while back. I haven't really done it much anymore, but there was a guy named Elliot Hulse, and he was real big in the fitness industry, and he was a mentor, and he was a really educated person on the body and the mind, and he
Mm.
would have these where sometimes like he would go through like his relaxation, and afterwards he would get on his bed and just put his face in his pillow and scream, bro. I'm talking about scream to the top of his lungs and stand up and like beat his chest and get grounded. And like it sounds crazy to an
It's funny,
average
bro.
Joe.
Sometimes I'll do something like that if I'm riding down a
Yeah.
back road in my truck, like riding dirt roads.
Yeah, dude.
Like if I'm flying down the road, wind in my face, dude, I'll stick my head out and scream, dude. I ain't got no shame.
Dude, it does something to your
I'll get
body. It
keyed up.
releases
I'll get
that
keyed up out there, dude. I'll get fired up.
man,
Everybody, I'll let
sometimes you just
everybody
gotta
know.
get wild.
Like I'm fired up.
I'm fired the fuck up.
I'll get after him, dude.
Man, sometimes you gotta let that shit out and not give a shit what anybody thinks, man.
Oh yeah, you gotta
Because
let them
that's
know,
a
dude.
big part of holding emotions in. It's, oh God, are they gonna think I'm weird?
Yeah. Oh,
Who
dude, that's
cares?
for sure one of the main things that troubled me for so long, man. Is just
Yeah.
man, that feeling like, oh my God, you know, I just any kind of awkwardness, bro, I couldn't handle it. Like
Oh,
I was
dude,
like,
and
no.
dude, you gotta put yourself in awkward positions. I've
Yeah,
done it.
dude. And I tell you, that's one thing that YouTube did for me big time is because,
Oh yeah, it
you know, you
helps.
put yourself out there and it changes the game a little bit.
Yeah, anybody new to the channel,
Like, like,
James, we both have YouTube channels, and he's got one called It's Your Life, and then I have one called Moving Forward. Uh,
yeah, and that dude, that changed things for me big time because just a few years ago, dude, I could have never got on this, podcast and been able to talk
No.
fluidly and about things that were in my mind and stuff without thinking about what someone was going to think or
Yeah.
anything like that. Like I'd literally be probably stuttering my way through this
Oh
because
yeah.
I'd be thinking about somebody listening to it that I
Yeah.
knew or something like that. And then,
And that just
man,
shows you
now
how
it
much
just
you've
doesn't even
grown.
bother me.
Yeah. Yeah, let's dive into like we was talking about earlier on routine. So I just want to say that here lately, I know James have been smashing it on a routine, but one thing I've noticed is whenever you stick to a routine for so long, that body and your brain, you get adapted to that routine. And whenever you start to change, whenever shit goes south a little bit, your body freaks out or your mind freaks out. It's like, whoa, that was fucking weird, or what's going on?
Yeah,
So
man. Change is hard on both the body and the mind, man. Your body
yeah,
likes patterns. It doesn't like to do new things.
yeah,
But
and
go ahead.
one thing I noticed is that setting up a routine to where and there's and whenever we say routine, we're talking about whenever you wake up in the morning, what's your routine? Most people is grab a cup of coffee, check social media. That's a bad routine. Waking up and grabbing your phone immediately.
Yeah.
James talks about a lot about that and
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of steering clear of as much screen time and social media as
yeah.
possible. Um, I've I've been I'm just a huge thing about that, man. That it burns so much of your mental energy. You don't have finite mental energy each day. You only have so much before your decision making starts getting affected and all this and that and scrolling through all that, you don't realize it, but your brain is constantly using energy just to process what you're reading or seeing on social media. And it's even more on blue light things that are like, it's almost like a moth to a light. It gets sucked in, that dopamine release, and it's addicting. It really is.
No doubt.
And it's much better if you do not grab. I'm not telling you not to check it all day because it's 2019 and things are different now. But I will tell you that the first part of your day, your phone does not need to be a part of it, unless it's
Oh, no doubt.
something positive.
Yeah, and so one thing I noticed is that, after we was doing these, because me and James, we've gotten pretty close over the, what, 2 years, man? Two
Yeah,
and a half?
we've known each other about 2.5 years now.
Yeah, so we pretty much bounce, ideas off each other regularly. So, whenever we started, talking about, social media and looking at your phone first thing in the morning, after you don't realize it, but I remember there was every day I woke up, I grabbed my phone and I looked, through Instagram or through
Yeah,
Facebook.
and the thing is too, it's not only when you wake up, man. Throughout the day, you'll pick it up when you don't even realize that you're scrolling through it. And you're like, oh my god, I just told myself I wasn't going to do this, and here I am doing it again,
Yeah,
like subconsciously doing it.
right. And
And go ahead.
yeah, but that, I noticed that but once I stopped, I put a pattern in my head that I'm not going to do it anymore. So now when I go to grab my phone, I'm like, dude, you don't need to, you don't need to look at that shit. That's, it's a waste
Yeah,
of time to
and
look
see,
at somebody else's life.
I've actually, this. I've recently deleted all my social media off my phone, and I was like, you know
Oh
what?
yeah.
For 2 months, I'm gonna have no social media on my phone because I realized, the I don't know if the Samsungs or the Androids and stuff have this or not, but the new iPhones have a screen time calculator where it tells you how much time you've been on your phone, how much time you spent looking at social media, and it breaks it down into app demographic. And I looked at my phone to realize how much time I spent staring at my phone each day, and I was like, "Oh my god, what
Yeah, it's
in the
crazy.
hell am I doing?"
Yeah.
And that's what really made me make the decision. And I realized like it's crazy. It's almost like a ADD thing, especially when you have multiple social media outlets. How you're just scrolling back and forth between them, back and forth, and it's wasting so much mental energy, and it's also
Oh
speeding your
yeah.
mind up, which is hard on people that deal with any kind of anxiety or stress or anything. So I told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm cutting it off. 2 months. I'm getting out of that habit. And man, I have felt clearer minded. I've been doing this now for a little over a week or 2 weeks. I can't
Yeah.
remember. And man, I feel so much mentally clearer. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome, bro.
big time. And but as far as routine goes, with not doing it in the morning, man, I think healthy routines We talk about it all the time. You know, not everybody can get up early. I think getting up early is, even when I struggle with it, is better. I always feel better and I get more done on days that I get up early,
Yeah.
you know, between 5 and 6. But you know, that's not realistic for everyone because depending on what you do for work or school or anything like that, your schedule may be totally different. But I think the biggest thing is making sure whatever it is, you wake up at the same time every day. If you wake up at the same time every day, whether you're waking up at 5 a.m. or 8 a.m., you know, it's important to, you don't have to go to sleep at the same time every day, but make sure you wake up at the same time every day.
Yeah, that's
And
important in a routine.
the first thing you do is you know, like me and you talk about, man. Some people think it's this that it's bullshit or that it's stupid, but those positive affirmations, man,
Oh, dude, no doubt.
and truly meditating into that thing. What my morning routine is like. The second I realize I'm conscious, I'm hitting the positive affirmations for 5 minutes. I'm
Hmm.
stretching out. I'm watching and I'm listening to a motivational video while I stretch out for about, you know, anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Then I'm in the shower, and then if when I get out of the shower, if I have time, depending on what I'm doing that day, I'm either gonna do a little meditation or I'm off to work. But for those, you know, for those first 30 minutes to an hour of the morning, dude, you can change your whole life simply by having a healthy routine when you first wake up.
Oh,
Um,
no doubt.
and
Damn, we've already been recording 20 minutes.
have we really? And we're like on point number one or two, like that
Yeah,
we
man.
wanted to talk about. But well, maybe we can make it into 2 episodes, all this stuff.
Yeah, we can do a part
But
one and part two.
yeah, I know. Well, this is the pilot, and we'll have the next one be something else. But
Yeah.
man, that as far as the routine goes, waking up at the same time every morning, having that same positive, you know, jump up out of the bed. I start doing those positive affirmations as soon as I wake up. I try to chug at least 12 ounces of water when I first wake up because that's super good
Oh,
for
I
your.
live by that, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's super good for jump starting your you know, all your organs, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. You get
That
your
water's
organs
key
primed
for
up.
organ function. And man, what I like to do, I like to do that thing where I take a 16-ounce bottle of water, put me a little bit of that pink Himalayan salt in it, and then a squeeze
Hmm.
of lemon and lime, and
Yeah.
smash that for electrolytes. That's another good one. But man, I'd at least chug 12 ounces of water as soon as I realize that I'm awake.
Oh, yeah. That's
And
a go-to to me. I go to
then
my
I,
fridge, grab a water, and kill it.
then I start. But before I do that, for those first 5 minutes that I'm awake, that I'm, you know, wrestling with myself to put those feet on the floor, I'm doing those affirmations, man. And I'm not
Yeah.
just doing them. I'm literally imagining. Like if I'm
Yeah.
just saying I'm happy over and over again in my head, I'm imagining that happiness. And I swear, ever since I started doing that, man, my mornings have been so much better. If you can start your morning off with that positivity, even if you don't believe it, even if you think it's crap, even if you think it's stupid, I guarantee if you do it for a month, all of a sudden you're going to start feeling that true positivity in the mornings, and it's going to start changing. You're like, I was, you know, I wasn't even feeling positive, but for some reason I start waking up positive.
Yeah.
It's because you've started that routine, and that becomes a habit mentally, and then it goes into your subconscious,
And you
and then
know
you're subconsciously happy. It's Joe Dispenza, the doctor that I sent you that video on.
hmm
He, dude, I love his stuff about how he talks about rewiring the mind. He's always talking about that, and I think he wrote a book about it, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he's a neuroscientist, but
I'll
he's
have to check
all
that out.
about that routine stuff. I think his name is, I'm pretty sure it's Joe Dispenza, and
Yeah.
but he's got some powerful stuff. But man, hit that, and then maybe hit that Wim Hof breathing first thing in the morning.
Oh,
Whoa,
man, I live by
talk about
that.
being fired up.
Dude, one thing, and my routine's pretty similar. So, as soon as I wake up, I've started, putting more in them positive affirmations, and it's cool having, you know, us two that's been through shit, to be like, hey man, try this, and so the positive affirmations definitely help.
Yeah,
And
man, and you
as
know,
soon as,
I wouldn't be saying any of this if I didn't do it. We're not gonna
right,
be on here talking about things that we don't
oh
do,
no, no doubt,
that we're BSing about, or that we're trying to be cool. You know, like half these motivational podcasters and
yeah,
speakers and stuff these days that literally don't. All they do is talk the talk. They don't walk the walk. If I don't know about something, or if I
no,
haven't
this is
done it,
shit
I'm
we
not
do.
gonna tell you to do it. This is something that I've personally that me and Dylan both put into practice. And
Yeah.
man, it can make some big changes. Now, it may not make a change in one day, but it's all about a conglomeration, and it's all about finding your way.
Yeah, and so as soon as I wake up, uh, the first thing I do is just think of all the positive shit, that and not even, positive affirmations. People sometimes, it differs from each person to person, but I'm just like, man, I'm thankful for what I get to smash this day, or it can be, I am in control of everything in my life, and I am in control because I have
Yeah,
God on
man.
my side,
And the
or
one thing
what,
is, I like one of the main ones I like is just saying I'm happy and
yeah,
literally imagining myself like I'll smile in my bed
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'll just think about the feeling of happiness and I'll just say I'm happy. I'm happy. I'd be whether it's out loud or in my head. It depends on where I am. Um, but man, that's another one I do. That one and the I'm confident. I'm smart. I'm
Oh, dude,
strong.
one
I'm
I've started
fearless.
incorporating, man, and it will get you, man. It gets me fired up. It's all personal, but dude, I'll be laying there and just be like, I am a fucking savage. Like
Oh yeah,
I'm a
dude.
monster, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and
I do something like,
so if you
I'm a
embed this shit in
beast.
your head, yeah, if you embed this shit in your head that I am a monster and
Yeah, you'll
I have so much
when you start
potential.
thinking like when you start thinking like a productive, powerful,
Yeah,
smart, person, and you
yeah,
start, believing that, and you start believing that you can be all that, dude. It's crazy how many doors start to open and things start to happen.
yeah, man. You
Just
really
from a
gotta,
change in thought pattern.
yeah. I mean, and it helps a lot with people that doubt themselves or they have issues, like self issues, like
Hmm. Hmm.
they feel weak or vulnerable, or there's a
But But that's true. But I felt weak and I felt vulnerable and felt like, that I couldn't do things and things like that. But I swear, man, like, and because I've had those feelings too. But I
oh, and this will
swear,
change it
yeah. And even though it sounds crazy that how could just saying that to myself a tons of times a day for a year
because you
change the
told
fact that
yourself
I'm
you wouldn't
scared?
shit
But
or whatever.
you've literally reincorporated that into your mind.
Well,
It's super interesting how it works.
well, people that have self-esteem issues, okay, so they've done the same thing we're talking about. They've
Yeah,
just
but
done
they've
it
just done
mentally
it.
on a subconscious level.
Well, they've done it in a negative way, though.
Yeah, like, I'm too skinny, or I'm too fat,
You
or
can put it
I'm
into
not
your mind
popular at
though
school.
that you're good.
That is negative affirmation. I'm not, God, I just
Yeah,
wish I was more
even
like
if you're
old
doing
dude.
it subconsciously and don't realize you're doing it.
Yeah. So once you start, I wake up, I start those affirmations. I get out of bed. The first thing I do, I've been doing this for about a month now, is I make my bed. I make it. I fill
Oh,
my
me
pillows
too.
up.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
making my bed as soon as I wake up.
As soon as I get out of it, I make my bed. Because one thing I've noticed is whenever you come back to your bedroom and you see, pillows all over the place, or you see the blankets sort of where it puts off a negative vibe. So I make sure
Yeah.
to smash that and
And
make my
man, and
bed.
like you fold back those sheets and you get ready to climb and you're like, oh, they just feel
Yeah, man.
fresh because
Yeah.
there ain't been dust getting in them all day or whatever, and it comes in, it looks nice, it looks clean, and
Yeah.
it feels right.
And so I make my bed. I get up, and whenever I get out my bed, this is something that dude, I was notorious for years prior to this is hopping up out the bed and gone. But
No, oh
now
yeah,
I hop
dude,
up and I stretch for like quick stretch. I'm talking about just dynamic stretching, like touch my
yeah,
toes, back and forth, and just getting my muscles warmed up
yep.
and ready to start this day. And then
I'll swing my arms a little bit,
yeah,
rotate
yeah,
them shoulders, hips too.
yeah, man, and it's man, there's so many different. We can make different videos about stretching and stuff because I'm really gotten into that here lately. But I wake up to hit a quick stretch, go brush my teeth, throw some threads on, go make me some food, and while I'm eating my food, I'll watch a motivational video or just listen to it while I'm doing something. And
And
if I'm not going straight to work, I'll study. I'll study on kind of what I'm studying now, and that's kind of like while I'm eating my food and drinking my water and shit in the morning. Sometimes, man, I may drink three waters, just get ready for the day, and then I take my multivitamins, my fish oil, and all that shit.
yep, yep. I try to take mine. If I'm not gonna eat breakfast, then I don't do my vitamins.
Yeah,
And I wait till lunch to do them.
yeah,
But I try to do them with food because a lot of that stuff, especially the fatty stuff, your omegas and stuff, they do much better when you eat them with food. Your fat solubles, but yeah, man, and not only, we talk about this positive morning routine and all that kind of stuff, but just as important, if not, just the same important is your nighttime routine.
Yeah.
Um, your nighttime routine is it has got to be more strict than your
Oh
morning
yeah.
routine
That's
because
gotta
your
be.
morning routine's quick, it's getting you going and all that stuff, but how you come in, what you drink, what you eat, how you act, what activities you do in the evening, how much TV you watch, all plays into a factor of the number one thing that's for physical health, more than food, more than anything. Um, the most important thing you can do for both physical and mental health is good sleep.
Yeah.
And your nighttime routine when it comes to sleep. And I know you've been working on this, and because I've been on you about it big time too.
Right.
And I stay on my other friends about it too, about how important it is. But your pre-bedtime sleep routine, especially from 90 minutes before you go to sleep is crazy important. First off, you want to cut your liquids off 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed because, when you got to wake up and take a piss in the middle of the night, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, God,
Yeah.
why did I have to wake up and do that? I was sleeping so good. Well,
Yeah.
if you get it all out of your system before you go to sleep, most of the time you might wake up once to go, but most of the time that's about it. It's better than 3 or 4 or 5 times. And that's even more important for people on, blood pressure medications or any kind of thing that makes you pee a lot. But the uh, the other stuff that's important with that 90-minute mark is you need to get off your blue screens. This includes your cell phone. This includes the
Yeah.
TV. This includes your computer, your tablet, your anything that emits blue light needs to go off 90 minutes before you go to sleep because physiologically for the human brain, when it sees blue light, it is stored in our DNA that blue light means the sun is coming up in the morning.
Right.
And orange, like orangish red light, is normally indication that the sun's going down and to start shutting your body down. But that blue light normally keeps you keyed up mentally for another at least 90 minutes. So it's good to cut those screens off at the 90-minute mark. And then from there, it's cut your caffeine off early in the day. Don't eat too much before you go, right before bed.
Well, I feel
Make sure
like
you
before
eat
you,
earlier in the evening.
yeah, before you get away from the whole, phones and shit. Now, this is the way I feel. So whenever you're going to bed, and let's say you're scrolling through Facebook, and this all dials back down to what we was talking about on the social media shit. So whenever you're scrolling through Facebook, your brain, just think about your brain, all the shit that's going through it. Like, how do you expect your brain to get tired whenever you're just looking at you just looked at 37 people what they did today, and
When
then
you're
whenever you see,
slamming information into it.
yeah. So not only that, but I watched a doctor talk about I forgot who it was, but anyway, he was saying so whenever let's say you see this, you're scrolling through your Facebook timeline at night while you're laying in the bed, and then you see John, an old friend of yours, he posted this thing, and then you start thinking of old memories you had with John. You know what I mean? Like it breaks down, and you start thinking
Hmm.
about more shit, and it just dives in your
And
because
that's the
that's what your
thing is
brain's made to
people are
do.
like, well, I'm not taking in information. I'm not reading. I'm just scrolling through pictures.
But you are.
What you don't understand is there's certain parts of your brain, your subconscious brain, your amygdala, your reptile brain, all this kind of stuff that's always watching. It's always
Yeah.
dissecting all the information that you're seeing, and your brain, even though it doesn't look like you're reading everything, it's picking out things that it's think are going to be interested to you, and that takes mental energy. That
Yeah.
takes keeping your brain fired up. And when you take in that more and more information, how do you expect to calm down? And you
Yeah.
think you can just go from watching an action movie and being fired up to instantly being asleep? If you
Hmm.
can, I'm extremely jealous because 99% of the world's population cannot.
Yeah.
Um,
And something I struggle with. This is all because, dude, I've dealt with insomnia, and I've dealt with
oh yeah, me too.
sitting up at night and just being like, God, dude, why can't I go to sleep? And
Cannot sleep.
but ever since I've started all these routines I'm telling you all about, and me and James is talking about, it's really helped die down. Because once you actually focus on, a lot of people with insomnia have anxiety. It kind of goes hand in hand. Uh, you know, it kind of puts you in. Once you get your routine, you start to get more relaxed, and once you get relaxed, you start. I don't know, man. You just
Well, that's what I was talking about with that nighttime routine. Like my favorite nighttime routine that I did for a while that I have to get back into because I've been working stuff, I've been slacking on it, but come in at the 90-minute mark, set the phone down, stretch out for however long
oh,
it
dude,
takes me to do all my stretch.
that's been an
That's
everydayer.
that 30 to 45 minutes of stretching. Then I take first that 90-minute mark, I'm taking either if I'm melatonin, if I'm doing that, if I'm not doing melatonin, I'm taking my CBD.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm starting my stretches
Hmm.
at that 90-minute mark, and I'm stretching anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour, depending on the
Yeah.
night.
That's about what I
And
do.
I'm either a lot of times I'll listen to a podcast while I'm doing that, um,
Yeah.
and I'll get that stretching started. Then once I get that stretching done, I hop up in the bed. I take out my book. Well, most I say that. Um, I like to, and then once I get through with my stretching, I like to do a quick journal. I like to hit the, whatever's been through my head that day, whether it's positive or negative. I like to get it out on paper real quick. That normally takes me anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes.
Yep.
And then after that, I grab my book and I sit in my bed and I read until I am ready to pass out. And the thing is, another good point with that, all this really has to do with routine and both that and sleep hygiene. Um, it's really good because once your body gets in that routine, your body literally knows start shutting down. It's no different than saying that you're happy every morning as a positive affirmation for 6 months. Then all of a sudden you start waking up happy. It's the same way, like your body, when it realizes, oh, well, he started stretching, so it's time to start winding down. Your body subconsciously starts getting ready for sleep. But you have to do it
Hmm.
over and over and over again. And it literally becomes easy to go to sleep. But
Yeah.
if you never have any consistency with what you're doing, you're drinking liquid here, you're smashing, two cheeseburgers before you go to bed, you're doing whatever,
Yeah.
that's not positive sleep hygiene. That's never going to get you in a place where your body automatically knows, hey, it's time to go to bed.
Right. Right.
And man, it's so important.
Yeah, it is. You said
Kind of.
something about liquid. I figured we could dive into a quick hydration, because we was going to talk about
Well, how long? What are we at on the time right now? Because I don't want to
uh,
make it so long that
37 minutes.
I don't want to make it so long that I don't want to make it so long that we can't upload it. That's the only thing
Okay.
about right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. But real quick, let's talk about hydration real quick, and then we'll make a part two to this.
yeah, and then
Um.
we don't really have to make a part two. We can just have it as episode two.
Yeah, episode two. Well, the next episode y'all see will be just diving more off of the mind. But so real quick, this is something I'm really big on, and even before I started really diving into stress and anxiety and stuff like this, I've always been the key opponent of hydration. And so for me, it's just like I can honestly tell a difference. Like if I only have like a glass of water that day or a bottle of water, and it's like 7 o'clock, I'm like, God, dude, I feel terrible. Like I'm foggy headed. I'm whatever. And on top of that, you're working and running around all day, and dude, for me, hydration. Like we always talk about cortisol
Yeah, man,
and
it waters down that cortisol and man, hydration's everything. But the thing is though, like we're not saying drink a gallon of water a day. If you're not
yeah,
burning off water, then you're fine. If you drink a gallon of water a day, you're stupid because you're not putting in any electrolytes to restore all those vitamins and minerals and stuff that you're depleting by pissing all that out. You have to take in both vitamins and minerals to have to stay hydrated as well. Because water retention in your body is done through minerals and all that kind of stuff and salt. And if you don't have any of that, then the water's just going to go straight through. And not only that, it's going to deplete you.
and
So you have to have that other stuff as well.
like dehydration, man, is one of the most. I read an article. I want to say this morning. It was at a. Oh man, I forgot the name of the. It was like an institution that studies brain health. But anyway, they were saying how 85% of your brain tissue, the brain tissue,
It's
85% of
water.
that is water.
Yeah,
And
dude, I was actually going to say something like that, but I thought it was like 70 or something. I couldn't remember.
It was 85%, bro. That blew my mind because,
Yeah. If
I've always heard, 70, 80% of your body is water, but
yeah.
85% of your brain tissue is water.
Hey,
And
and think about that though, man. Think about that right. Imagine if you're dehydrated. Like imagine being dehydrated for almost every day of your life.
right.
You let's say you only have half the hydration that you need every day of your life. Your brain, when you're dehydrated, literally shrinks. So you're running on less brain power. Your liver's working harder. Your heart's
Yeah.
working harder. If you're not drinking enough water, if you're not staying hydrated enough, then you are literally stressing your organs out and you are going to die sooner than you're supposed to because you are wearing your organs out.
Dude, I feel like water is so, you know what I mean? So like if you're not drinking enough water and you live off Mountain Dew and energy drinks, like I mean everything's fighting harder. Everything is
Yeah.
squeezing out water out of that Diet Coke. And I'm a
And not
big
to
guy and I'm
mention when it comes to stress, man,
yeah, yeah,
dude,
and it's even
that
worse.
cortisol level is so much more concentrated in your body when you're not properly hydrated. So you're automatically going to feel more stressed out.
And for all the groups that have said, hey, I cut out Cokes, but I still drink Diet Coke. I'm right there with y'all. I'm not gonna sit here and be a hypocrite and say I don't. I drink Diet Cokes, but
Y'all are killing me,
for
man. I drink them bubbly waters, boy.
yeah, but for every, that's something else I'm working on. I've cut down a
Costco,
lot.
son.
But
About
whenever I drink,
30 of them for $4.
yeah, well, whenever I drink a Diet Coke, I be sure to have 2 bottles of water. And in that same study I read, they said that if you drank a 12 ounce beer, it could take like you got to drink like 36 ounces of water for your body to flush out that beer. And so every time I drink
Well, think
any kind
about
of
this, though. Just for a fun fact, uh, diseases can't live inside a body that's 90% alcohol. So take that as you
yeah,
will.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a joke.
yeah, that is a joke. It doesn't mean be an alcoholic.
Or do. Whatever makes you
Or
happy. But
or
we
if you're
didn't
a fucking
suggest it.
alcoholic, yeah, I mean this you didn't hear it over here, but
We're all about positive vibes and living healthy, but have
we
the
don't give a
occasional
shit if you're
beer.
an alcoholic or not. You can come get on the show and we can
You can
we
still
can talk about how your life is as an alcoholic.
Yeah, and we can figure out where you fucked up.
We can maybe give you some
We
pointers.
drink it every now and then, but we're trying to promote positivity and health here, but
Yeah.
it yeah.
Yeah, man. But I've read we're gonna end it on that anyway. Water's key, man. If you ain't drinking enough water, start drinking more fucking water. Like it's not
Drinking
hard.
water, cut out them cokes,
Yeah, man.
and
Start by the
get
sugary
on that
shit. Cut it out.
routine, say them positive affirmations, get your life together because the positivity and the vibe of the world has to do with all of us. We all gotta be positive.
Yeah. You gotta just wake up every day, man. Wake up every day and just say, I'm gonna kill it. That's something I live by, and it's something I've been saying for years now. Is you just gotta kill it. Wake up every day and just believe that yourself that you are a savage. And once you've adapted that I'm a fucking beast, once you've adapted that in your head, you're unstoppable. It don't matter what Joe said about you. It don't matter what Ricky thinks about you. It doesn't matter what Vanessa thinks you're fine or not, because you're a fucking beast.
It
And
doesn't matter what Billie Jean, our cousin Joey, said.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, bro. Like it's because you've established in your head, I'm a monster. Like it doesn't matter what the vibe of other people.
I'll tell you this, bro. My mullet looks way fresher when I drink all my water. So I'm just saying that that mullet has that extra shine whenever I
Yeah, James got that
get up
mulligan going.
and get that water. That mullet looks extra fiery.
Over here on the,
I got
over
that.
here on the
I got
Daily
that
Vibe.
faded glory, boy. Faded on the sides and that glory in the back.
Boy, got that riffraff coming soon, mullet. Yeah, man, we keep fucking positive vibe. We keep mullets and jorts over here. We got fucking. We just man, we
Keyed
keep it.
up and G'd up, baby.
We keyed up and G'd up, man, and we'll talk about all kind of shit, man. One podcast I do want to do is about the outdoors and how, because me and James have both lived a pretty fucking most of our life in the outdoors, and that would be a fun one to talk about.
Well, Dylan, it's been an honor to share the pilot episode with you and all the listeners out there. We greatly appreciate you, and we're gonna try to get going. Drop us any suggestions you have or questions, and we can discuss on the air. And we appreciate you, and we're out here promoting positive vibes, and we thank you for listening.
Yeah, man. And if you ain't, hey, let me just say this: if you got it this far and you ain't clicked that subscribe button, I might drop a
Yeah,
comment on your
fuck!
location. I'm gonna
No, I'm
come
just
whoop your
kidding.
head. It's gonna happen. I'm just playing, y'all. Yeah, well, man, it's been a fucking blast here doing these podcasts. So y'all be sure to subscribe. Hopefully, we get out on a podcast platform.
The first one.
And yeah, man, this is the first episode. Y'all be sure to subscribe. Let us know what else you want to see, man. And we'll see y'all on the next one.
See you later.